Welcome back to the channel, guys. So we're still exploring New South Wales and we're having a great time. In this episode I'm going to be showing you the sights, the amazing food and loads of exciting stuff in the town of Gundagai, where the dog is on the tucker box, but so much more to see. We'll be having a look at the Murrumbidgee River. We'll be sightseeing around the old jail, and I have so many other exciting things to show you. So stay tuned to the channel, and Dougie and I and Kevin the caravan look forward to showing you around Gundagai. Well, it's time to travel and we've got the Windsor back on the road again. It's exciting. For those of you who've been watching our channel, seeing us do the renovations, we're now heading off on a 3,400 kilometre journey around New South Wales. We'll be sharing with you the good, the bad, the exciting places, the charming destinations. Dougie will be out having lots of walks, so we'll be sharing some of the history, the places to stay, the things to do, the food to eat, and so much more. So we look forward to having you on our journey as we explore this amazing country, see some amazing animals. So please don't forget to like and subscribe and come along on our epic trip in our Windsor Pop Top. After having an amazing time sightseeing around the Canola Way, enjoying chocolate at Gundagai, which is in our previous video, we headed down the road to Gundagai, where we're staying for a couple of days in the caravan park right on the Murrumbidgee River. Now, Gundagai is just off the Hume Highway these days, and most of us tear down the Hume Highway at 110 kilometres an hour and don't call in unless we stop for some McDonald's or something similar. But the town itself is well worth coming in for a visit. Now, it's only got a small population of about 2,000, a bit over 2,000 people, but it's got some amazing history. So the town was originally founded in 1838 and took off during the gold rush period. One of its most famous icons that we all know is the dog on the tucker box, which is located approximately 5 miles from Gundagai, or 8 kilometres. It was actually unveiled in 1932, the monument, and I'll be showing you more of that as we explore Gundagai. But that's not the only really interesting thing about Gundagai. So Gundagai was also famous for having bushrangers being captured in the area and kept at the jail. It had gold rush, as I mentioned. There's a lot of pioneering history in the town, and it has been prone to floods over and over again, and some amazing floods. One flood that absolutely devastated the place was in 1852, and it's still the worst natural disaster in Australian history, right? As I'm doing this video. And it basically annihilated the entire town, which is why the town was built further up the hill. Now, so to commemorate the Great Flood of 1852, they have this beautiful sculpture in the main street of Yarra and Jacka Jacka, who were two Aboriginal men who built a canoe and bravely rescued many of the town folk. One thing that I'm really looking forward to showing you guys is here in Gundagai is the Australian Pen Museum. Now I know you're going, it's a pen. We're pulling into the caravan site now, and so we're going to get set up and I'll show you more of Gundagai during the course of this video. You can see petrol out, there's Dougie, and we're in the caravan site. So this is a very basic camp kitchen here at Gundagai in the caravan park, but it's still good. Hot water. So this is a monument, and it's actually in the caravan park, which is really interesting, to Captain Charles Sturt, who was an Australian explorer who passed through here in 1829. So this would have been after human hovel had come through and found the initial route. But they went down where Tumut is, and he came through where Gundagai is. So I picked up this from the Tourist Information Centre about the town of Gundagai. So we're going to go and check out all of the different things. Now I can tell you that at the moment the marble masterpiece is closed. They're renovating the building that's in. Other than that, we should be able to see most of these things. Let's see how we go in one day. So we're heading off now to take Dougie for a walk and explore the town of Gundagai. Just check out how long this railway bridge is. It seems to go for miles. What I'm finding really interesting is all over the town there is these really interesting monuments that are way over there. So we're going to have a look at what these monuments are. They're on these stone blocks. So seems to represent some different points in history. So this is Sturt's Crossing, and there was an old inn here. So we're going to go through the turnstile and have a closer look. Cool. So this was erected on the site of where the original inn was that's survived the Great Flood of 1852. So that's really cool. But that's sad. His wife and 4 children perished in the disaster. So this is the old railway tracks going onto the old viaduct railway line, which we saw those great big bridge going across. So this is a bit of the history about it. The Murrumbidgee flooded. So this is the old mill. The old mill, interactive tourist attraction. But it doesn't appear to be open, even though this is about the flood in 1852. So that's interesting. Oh, that's the one where there's the artwork up in the main street we just walked. So the highest level here was in 1853. In 2012 it didn't get up to anywhere near that high. And the 1853 basically wiped out the original township of Gundagai, and 79 people were drowned. That's really sad. Okay guys, I'm taking a chance at this time of the morning to show you the main street of Gundagai. It's very quiet and peaceful here. We've got Dougie, so we're just going to have a close look at the main street from the centre of it so you can see right down. It's quite a big main street. There's more behind us, but there's a lot of old historical buildings and a lot of really nice facilities. Now, so this coming building here, which is hidden by trees, but I'll show you in a second, is actually the Gundagai courthouse. So it was built in 1860 and it's absolutely stunning. We're going to go up these stairs and have a closer look at the courthouse. So this is just stunning. And they have this beautiful war memorial here. We're going to have a look around. First Australian horse killed in action. The first soldier from New South Wales to fall in the war. Relates to the Boer War. So this 1900 yeah. So it fell in the South African War between 1899 and 1901. Okay, so guys, so next door to the courthouse in Gundagai is the old jail, and we're going to go and explore that shortly. Here we are at the Old Gundagai Jail. We've got our key from the Tourist Information Centre, which we do. So in we go. So when you pick up the key from the Tourist Information Centre to get into the jail, you also pick up the headset and gear for the self-guided tour. I've tried to share this as best I can, just bits and pieces, but the volume's not the best.
One of the more notorious bushrangers held here was John Peasley. Peasley started his criminal career as a horse thief and cattle rustler. This got him into trouble, and he was sentenced to prison on Cockatoo Island. Bushrangers, in fact, exercised rights over specific roads. These were often sold on to other bushrangers.
Peasley is decidedly a favourite in the district among a large proportion of the inhabitants, assuming a sort of Dick Turpin notoriety, which makes it very difficult to catch him.
So one of the really interesting things about the self-guided tour in the jail is the narration about Andrew Scott. Now Andrew Scott is famously known as Captain Moonlite, famous bushranger in the region. Now in his, what I'll call his last stand, at Murrumbidgee Station, I think that's how you pronounce it, which is approximately 20 kilometres southwest of Gundagai, there was a massive shootout, and James Nesbitt, close companion of Captain Moonlight, and Gus Wingerary, I'm not sure I pronounced it even remotely correctly, you can look it up on Wikipedia, were shot and killed. Captain Moonlight was captured along with Thomas Rogan. Now it was said that Captain Moonlight just stayed there with his companion James Nesbitt, hugging him after his death. And he was captured and he was brought back to Gundagai Jail, where he requested that he be buried alongside James Nesbitt. Now he was sent up to Sydney, where he was hung in 1880, but it wasn't until the mid-90s where he got his request and his body was exhumed and actually moved back to Gundagai prison, Gundagai Cemetery. So you can actually come and see the famous bushranger's grave at Gundagai Cemetery. We're not going to get a chance to do that, but you guys need to check out this tour. I've only showed you a small fraction of it, but it is 100% worth it. The guided tour, the headset, runs for about an hour and a half, well worth it. And being dog friendly, Dougie and I had a lovely wander around in here, but now we're going to return the key and go and grab something to eat. Check out the really cool cow art behind me. This is in Gundagai, so we're just walking up the main street, and I just spotted these really cool cows. So there's Daisy, Melba and Daphne. That is very cool. Wow, so this is because Gundagai won a world record with Melba for producing all this milk in a very short period of time. That is so fascinating. So let's see what we ended up with here, guys. So this is from the historical Gundagai bakery. So that just looks lovely. How amazing is this? So after the amazing sausage roll, we're now heading along the walking track. There's some amazing, beautiful walking tracks around Gundagai, and heading up to explore the local museum. And then we're heading on to see the Pen Museum. So this is really cool. So the museum is the old bank building, and according to this, it's a Bank of New South Wales. So clearly there's a lot of banks that closed down, but this is interesting, the reuse of this bank building. So it's going to cost us $5. Oh my goodness, automated doors. Well, the museum is amazing with lots of different things, room upon room. A lot of the museum, they don't like you to take videos in, so I've only given you a small sample. It is well worth the $5 to check it out. There's room after room, plus outside areas. There is mountains of memorabilia. I could have been quite happy there for the entire day. There is so much to see here. So the museum was interesting. Now we're heading back up the main street, down past the Royal Hotel, which was a Cobham Cove thing, and onto the Pen Museum, which is also in the main street. So we're at the Australian Pen Museum in Gundagai, which is something interesting that I had no idea existed. So we're going to go in and... So that one there is a 2,000-year-old bronze Roman stylus. That's amazing. That is, and these little ink pots.
And over here I've got some genuine pens or quills. They go back 200 to 300 years, and that's how they were. Not unlike the depict them in
the
movies ones? And extra, with a full feather. They were never a full feather.
Wow.
They were cut down. They did make small ones, and you can tell that by the documents. I've got a document down there, 1755, and that shows very thin writing, whereas this one here is 1767, and that was written with a quill on parchment.
This one was the one written on a quill on parchment?
1767.
So that's 1767.
And that's written with a quill on parchment. And that's treated cow skin. He dampened it, and they scraped the ink off with a ink eraser. And that's these little spade-shaped tools over here. I've got a collection of.
Okay, so ink erasers.
They're ink erasers.
Okay.
And they were made especially for scraping the ink off parchment and vellum. Only the skin, not the paper.
Oh, yeah, white out where you...
Over a rubber.
Yeah, rubber, and you would just erase the ink off the skin. That is just fascinating. You're a wealth of history. You really are a wealth.
Well, pens are history.
They are.
I'm often asked why a pen museum, and I said, well, you know, without them we'd have no history.
That's exactly... What's this one with the hammer?
That is a barrister seal breaker. In the First World War, that was a finish of it. You just got... But anyway, that's a one-handed inking machine. For those that didn't have an arm, only had one arm, and you could put the heel of your hand on there, and it brought a spring out of the ink bottle, and you could swing your pen around and ink it.
So guys, this is an absolutely amazing place, this pen museum. You have got to come and check it out yourself. So when you're in Gundagai next time, don't just drive up the highway, come in and check out this amazing pen museum and learn all the history. The amount of stuff I have learnt today, and I'm not going to show you everything. Come along, meet the amazing guide and learn all about it for yourself. So that was amazing. Now I'm going to head back up the street in Gundagai and hopefully catch the Railway Museum before it closes. Well, we made it down to the Railway Museum. Bit of a walk. It surprised me how far we actually had to walk right up the other end of the main street. But we got down here only to find that the museum was closed, so I can only show you around the outside, but it's still a beautiful old building here. So we've headed back to the caravan site to rest up for the night. I've seen so many things in Gundagai, it's amazing. But I am going to take Dougie for a walk across the bridge, which is just the back of the caravan site, and give you a view of the Murrumbidgee River in all its glory. Now, Dougie's having his final walk before we leave Gundagai, and I am going to take you up and show you the amazing panoramic view. So I mentioned at the beginning of this video I was going to show you the free camping option at Gundagai. So this is it here across the road. I'm trying not to disturb people. There are no facilities at all, but it's free. It's right by the creek, and it's about a 2-minute walk in. Here we are at the top of this mountain in Gundagai. It's got the most amazing panoramic views. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you guys. You can see for miles in every direction, and it's just stunning. After enjoying this stunning view here, it's time to head back down to the caravan site so we can pack up and head on. Well, this is it for the town of Gundagai. I hope you enjoyed all the sites we showed you. There is so much more we didn't get to see. There's a truck museum and there's lots of other sites, but we've run out of time. So I hope you enjoyed the video. We're going to finish off by just giving you a quick look around the dog on a tucker box as we head down the highway. So thanks for watching. We look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day. All right, little dog. Up we get. On the tucker box. Dougie gets to the tucker box. There you go. You show everybody that this is Dougie on the dog on the tucker box. Hey.